Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining today's webinar for Prebys Sparx. My name is Susanna Lockwood, and I work for CARET, the agency that's supporting the Prebys Foundation for the design and management of this challenge. Today's webinar is being recorded and will be available on the news and updates page of the challenge website later this week. We'll also email it to those who've registered for the challenge. We've reserved most of our time over the next hour for your questions. In just a moment, Julie Dubik, Chief of Staff and Strategic Partnerships at the Prebys Foundation, will welcome you and provide an overview of Prebys Sparx. I'll then do a quick walkthrough of the challenge website with my colleague Ethan Matthews, and then my colleagues Amy Klein and Christabel Boyena will help open it up for your questions. And as questions come up today, please type them into the questions box, and we'll answer as many as we can within our allotted time. If you submitted your question ahead of time, there's no need to re-enter it. Now, before we move on, I'll share some very important dates to keep in mind. The deadline to register for Prebys Sparx is in just over 1 week at 3 p.m. Pacific time on Thursday, November 7th, 2024. Please note that you must register to submit an application. We're also planning an additional pre-application webinar on Wednesday, November 20th, 2024 at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. And the sign-up link for that session will be shared with all registered applicants in the coming weeks. And if you have questions after today's session, you can email them to questions@prebyssparx.org. And now I'm pleased to turn things over to Julie Dubik from the Prebys Foundation.
Hello, everyone. I am delighted that you're here interested in our exciting contest. And I first would like to briefly introduce my companions. I'm here with Edgar Medina, who is a digital strategist and multimedia designer. He has 15 years of experience in photography, video production, graphic design, and stories that uplift the community's power, resilience, and joy. He worked briefly for the county, and he now, thankfully, works for us at Prebys. I'm also here with Novi Yarber, affectionately known as Dr. Novi, who is a San Diego-based civic leader, educator, and artist. He began dancing at 16, and he's participated in all sorts of dance contests. He's an amazing dancer, but he also earned his master's in higher education and his PhD in leadership studies from the University of San Diego. And he now serves as the senior learning officer at the Prebys Foundation. And I have the pleasure of being the chief of staff at the Prebys Foundation and devoting time to building strategic partnerships. I'm a former chief of staff to Mayor Jerry Sanders and an attorney and law professor. And we are delighted and excited to have all of you joining us today. We are pleased to be taking our first step forward with the help of CARET to award $1 million to a bold and innovative idea or program to improve the San Diego community's well-being through arts, culture, and/or nature for improving mental health and behavioral health for youth. We look forward to being able to answer your questions today and to being able to review your bold and exciting ideas that you submit. In addition to the $1 million, there will be 4 honorable mention, $25,000 awarded to participants. Thank you all so much. I will turn this over now.
Thank you, Julie. And next, I'll provide an overview of the website and process to participate in this challenge. So your first step to determine whether you're a good fit for this opportunity is the readiness quiz, which can be accessed from the main drop-down menu. This is a short quiz that is not required, but is offered as a tool for you to use anonymously. It walks you through several questions to determine eligibility for this challenge. If you feel that your organization is a strong fit for Prebys Sparx, we encourage you to complete the registration process as soon as possible if you have not already. And registration is required for you to be able to submit an application. Registration is very simple. You'll go to the upper right-hand corner of any page on the website and click on the button that counts down the number of days to register. You will then be instructed to create and confirm your account. Afterward, you'll be prompted to submit basic information about your organization so that we can better understand our registrant community. And once you've completed the registration form, you'll be able to submit it, then view a confirmation that your registration is received. You have the option to request an automated confirmation email after clicking submit. Be sure to click the checkbox opting into this email when the confirmation message appears. And now a quick orientation to the Prebys Sparx website. Prebys Sparx, like all of our challenges, is rooted in the values of openness, transparency, and fairness. We want to be sure that everyone who registers and applies for this opportunity knows exactly what we expect from them, when and how they're going to be scored, and who will be evaluating their solutions. This website is built as an instructional guide to understand that process. So an important resource to review, even before you register, is the Prebys Sparx application. The full text of the application is available for any visitor to the site. You can see all the questions, prompts, requirements, and word count limits on this page. The application has several sections. You're encouraged to read all of them so that you have a good grasp of what's required to submit a full application. Once you've done that, you should have a strong sense of what you need to do to apply. And then next, let's visit the rules page. Here, you can read about the legal stipulations governing your participation. You can find the eligibility criteria and learn more about detailed terms and conditions. Administrative review will take place immediately following the submission deadline. The Prebys Sparx team will review all submissions to ensure they comply with the rules and application requirements. All complete and valid applications will move on to evaluation panel review. So the next question we typically get is, how will the applications be evaluated? On the challenge website, you can see the scoring rubric that will be used during the evaluation panel to score and comment on the submissions. And the 4 criteria are equitable, impactful, community informed, and feasible. Each criterion consists of a prompt that details what each of those traits mean in this context, and each trait will be given a score between 0 and 5. You can toggle back and forth between the scoring ranges for any given trait, and a phrase will appear to provide further detail on what a low and high score means for Prebys Sparx. This rubric defines what makes a strong proposal, and we encourage you to familiarize yourself with it. And then this brings us to the actual scoring process. Following the application deadline, all eligible submissions will move into evaluation panel review. When viewing the evaluation page, you can see the list of judges who are confirmed at this time. Not only will you receive scores on your submission from 5 of the evaluation panel judges, but you'll also get feedback. In addition to numeric scores, evaluation panel members are required to provide comments to justify each score and note their overall impression of each application. We often find that this feedback is one of the most important aspects of participating in our challenges for applicants. And that even if you're not selected as an honorable mention or the winner, you walk away with valuable feedback that you can then use to refine your solutions and seek other funding or expanded support. And then this brings us to another common question we receive: how do you ensure the process is fair? To address this question, we have a webpage dedicated specifically to explaining how we normalize scores. I mentioned every valid application will first be scored by 5 members of our evaluation panel. This means that not every judge will look at every application. We make sure you're not disadvantaged if by chance you were assigned to a hard grader and another applicant was reviewed by someone who tended to be a little more lenient. So to summarize, all scores are rescaled and normalized. If you go to the menu and click on Fairness, you can read more about how this works. And next, we have a timeline page that details each phase of the challenge. So to get started, the first step is to register. Registration is required and must be completed by 3 p.m. Pacific time on Thursday, November 7th, 2024, for you to be able to submit a proposal. And once you register, you'll have full access to the application platform where you can enter your proposal. The submission deadline is 3 p.m. Pacific time on Wednesday, December 4th, 2024. And the timeline goes on to list all other key dates related to the challenge. And then our website also includes other helpful areas like news and updates. On this page, we'll post the recording of this webinar and other updates along the way, so be sure to continue checking this page for updates. And then we also have a series of frequently asked questions on the FAQ page. Questions answered on today's webinar will be added, and we'll continue to update this page throughout the process. We encourage you to read over all these FAQs and check back for updated information and guidance. And now let's move on to the Q&A portion of the webinar. Please continue to add your questions to the questions box, and we'll get to as many as possible today. And please note that to ensure fairness, we are not able to provide guidance specific to your proposed solution. And okay, let's get started. I'll hand it to Amy and Christabel to take it from here.
Thanks, Susanna. First question, what can I win?
Yes, so up to 4 honorable mentions will each receive $25,000, and 1 grand prize winner will receive $1 million.
Question number 2. How does Prebys Sparx define non-clinical health experiences?
Absolutely, I'll answer that. Hi, everyone. This is Noveen Yarbert with Prebys Foundation. And so non-clinical interventions are essentially those interventions that do not directly involve medical treatment or diagnoses or clinical procedures. Instead, they focus on social drivers of health, such as housing, food access, employment, education, transportation, safety, clean air, and water. And more specifically, as it pertains to this initiative, arts, culture, and nature. So non-clinical interventions aim to enhance overall quality of life and prevent health issues by addressing the broader determinants of health beyond traditional healthcare measures.
Next question, who can participate?
So Prebys Sparx welcomes applications from 501c3 nonprofits and fiscally sponsored 501c3 nonprofit organizations serving San Diego County. So each applicant must identify a lead organization, and lead organizations must be based in San Diego County or partner with a nonprofit that is based in San Diego County to be eligible. So the lead organization will assume responsibility for the receipt and management of any award. Please review the rules for a complete set of eligibility requirements. Also note that projects that employ culture to promote behavioral well-being are welcome to apply. Please select arts and culture from the options listed under solution category when registering.
Must the lead organization be based in San Diego County?
Eligible nonprofits can be located anywhere in the U.S. and U.S. territories, so long as they serve San Diego County and partner with a nonprofit that is based in San Diego County. So if your organization is not located in San Diego, you're not eligible to serve as a lead if you do not serve San Diego and have a San Diego nonprofit as a partner. And partnerships must demonstrate authentic collaboration between organizations, and they must continue for the duration of the 1-year project period at minimum. Memorandums of understanding may be requested from finalists to help verify authentic, sustained collaboration. Again, please review the submission requirements to learn more about partnerships.
Next question. Do solutions need to serve San Diego? How does Prebys Sparks define youth?
All proposed projects must serve and benefit youth communities in San Diego County. Proposed projects must impact San Diego young people ages 0 to 25. Some benefits are allowed for adults ages 26 and over, but the proposed solution should be focused primarily on young people ages 0 to 25.
Are previous or current grantees of the Prebys Foundation eligible to apply?
Yes, entities that have previously applied for and or received a grant from the Prebys Foundation are eligible to apply for this challenge. Current grant recipients or those applying are also eligible.
How do I apply?
So as mentioned, we encourage you to first assess your fit and eligibility for Prebys Sparks by completing that readiness quiz on the website. Then register no later than 3:00 p.m. Pacific time on Thursday, November 7th to participate. And again, registration is required and is a simple 2-step process. First, you'll create a username and password, then check your inbox to confirm your registration. Next, you'll complete the online registration form. And then once you've registered, submit your application online no later than 3:00 p.m. Pacific time on Wednesday, December 4th this year.
Could I complete more than one submission?
So you may only complete one submission as the lead organization. A participant can serve as a partner on a team for multiple submissions, as long as each of those submissions proposes a separate and distinct solution. So this means each project can only be submitted once, and we leave it up to each team to designate their eligible lead organization. And teams that are operating as fiscally sponsored projects of a 501c3 organization under formal fiscal sponsorship arrangements may each submit separate applications, naming that 501c3 organization as the lead on their applications. And then for regional or location-specific branches of larger organizations, as well as departments, schools, and programs within a college or university, you can each submit separate applications, naming that parent organization as the lead organization. For the situations I just mentioned, please note that the proposed solutions must be separate and distinct. And there really should be no overlap in personnel or team members. The intent of this policy is to ensure that any team is concentrating their best effort into a single application. We encourage teams to select a single project that best represents your organization's ability to deliver a solution that meets these scoring criteria. Again, please review the rules for more information.
Next question, how will submissions be assessed?
Once the submission deadline passes, the Prebys Sparks team will perform an administrative review to confirm that each submission meets the rules and submission requirements for advancing to the evaluation panel. And then all reviewers will use the scoring rubric. And the selection committee will review top scoring submissions and request additional information as needed. Select 4 honorable mentions and 1 winner based on the evaluation panel's recommended rank order. And then final decisions and selection of awards will be made by the selection committee and announced by March of 2025.
Next question, how can we use the Prebys Sparks Award?
Hi everyone, Edgar here with the Prebys Foundation. Award funds must be used for the project for which they are intended and may be dispersed to partners for project-related purposes. Please review the rules for more information about prohibited use of award funds.
Next question, how long is the project period? Will the full award need to be spent within that project period?
So the grant period is 12 months. The winner will be selected and announced by March 2025. The Prebys Foundation will then work with the winner to execute the grant agreement, which will outline the project start and end date. The grantee will return any unexpended funds to the Prebys Foundation at the end of the project period. Please be sure to review the timeline, rules, and sample agreements for more information.
What reporting, if any, will be required of the winner or honorable mentions?
Beautiful. This is Novian again from the Prebys Foundation. So I'll start by saying that we are hoping that in partnership with the winners of this Prize Philanthropy Challenge, that we can deepen our capacity and build our muscle as an organization to learn in partnership with the organization or organizations. So I'll start by saying that. But the honorable mentions are recognized for their excellent ideas and projects. And with winning the $25,000, they can be, excuse me, it can be used to your discretion. And there's no reporting on that end for honorable mentions. Now, for the winner of the challenge, you all will enter a separate agreement to receive funding that is required to be reported upon. And so with that, again, we're hoping that reporting is reflective of what the organization needs to learn, and that what is learned from reporting not only benefits us as a partnership, but also the larger ecosystem. So we'll be working with the winner to figure out and arrive at what reporting looks like, whether that is in the traditional reporting sense, or in ways in which we can be more creative and share this work around this work, cultivating well-being through arts and culture and nature. So please review the rules and sample agreement on the website for more information there.
Next question. Eager to hear more about the needs that Poets Underground could create a customized proposal to fill the gaps.
Thank you for your interest. Please do know that we are unable to provide guidance very specific to your organization and your individual proposal. We do encourage everyone to complete the readiness tool and review the rules to assess your fit and eligibility for the challenge. If you do have any additional questions after this webinar, please send them over to questions@prebyssparx.org.
Can Prebys define the key terms identified in the Prebys Sparx instructions, such as art, culture, nature, mental health, and behavioral health wellness?
But we do not have exact definitions of art, culture, nature, mental health, or behavioral health, but we do encourage bold ideas and innovative proposals that align with the 4 traits outlined on the scoring rubric. Please do check out the scoring rubric as demonstrated below. It has a slider to give you a better sense of how you might score on any one particular area. And do review the About page and the FAQs to learn more about the challenge. The overall goal with this is to invite a wide range of bold ideas and innovative solutions that employ arts, culture, and/or nature to address the growing mental health disparities and to promote behavioral well-being among youth in San Diego.
Next question. Does outside additional financial and in-kind support for the proposed solution factor into scoring?
Additional or outside financial support is not required. Please review the scoring rubric again to learn more about the 4 traits that the judges will use during the evaluation. One trait is feasible, so which does consider whether the approach has sufficient plans, resources, budget, and community buy-in to execute the solution.
Solution location question. Enter the primary location in San Diego County where you plan to implement your solution. We are approaching our solution through all of our partner locations. How do we input this?
So we encourage you to enter your locations of most significance, and feel free to describe further in other narrative sections the locations in which you do your work. And should your proposal move forward, you will have the chance to update or add to your proposal locations.
Next question. I would like to know the criteria for selection and who is doing the selecting of awarded applicants.
So we encourage you to review the scoring rubric on the website, which details the criteria the evaluation panel will use to score ballot applications. The evaluation panel judges that have been confirmed are included on the evaluation page of the website, so you can see their photos and a little bit about who they are. The selection committee will review the top scoring submissions and select 4 honorable mentions and 1 winner based on the evaluation panel's recommended rank order.
I would like to know more about the application process.
Sure. So the first step is to register no later than 3 p.m. Pacific time on Thursday, November 7th. Registration is required to participate. Once you register, please submit your application online no later than 3 p.m. Pacific time on Wednesday, December 4th. The application is already available on the website if you would like to review it before submitting your registration form. And again, we invite you to check out that timeline. It includes more details.
Next question. Interested to know more about the outdoor component of arts, culture, and nature, and my team wants to know more about the allowable expenses.
Proposals that include outdoor elements are eligible for the challenge, so long as they employ arts, culture, and or nature to promote behavioral well-being among San Diego youth. To answer the second part of the question, please review the section 5 of the rules for more information about prohibited use of award funds.
Next question. If workforce development is a priority in this funding cycle, what are the key outcomes that Prebys Sparx is looking for with workforce development in underserved communities?
So workforce development is not part of the key themes of this initiative. Prebys Sparx invites bold ideas that employ arts, culture, and or nature to address growing mental health disparities and promote behavioral well-being among youth in San Diego County. So we encourage you to review the readiness quiz, which will best help you assess the fit and eligibility of your organization's proposal.
Okay, next question. Can you identify projects of this type that are currently or have been previously funded?
This is the first Prebys Sparx challenge, and as such, we cannot share examples of past projects that were funded. We encourage you to complete the readiness quiz to assess fit and eligibility, and strong applications will focus on one or more of our solution categories of arts, culture, and or nature, and meet the 4 criteria outlined in the scoring rubric.
If we submitted a registration form for a specific solution category, is it possible to update the category?
Yes, you may update the registration form up until the application deadline, which is 3:00 p.m. Pacific time on Wednesday, December 4th. So from the submissions tab, you can select registration form to update the information provided there.
Can we use funds for travel?
Travel expenses required for project implementation may be an eligible use of funds. Please see section 5 of the rules for more information on ineligible expenses.
Is there a ramp-up timeline? What are the expectations and what is considered acceptable?
The grant period and timeline will be established with the winning organization. Please review the sample agreement on the website for more information.
Next question. For questions that ask which groups, populations that our solution serves, are these questions referring to which groups our solution will specifically target, or is it referring to which groups could possibly be served during the implementation of the solution?
The beneficiary section on the application asks participants to detail where your solution will focus its impact and the communities that will benefit. You can provide additional details about which groups your solution will target or possibly serve in beneficiary engagement and beneficiary description, for example.
Will our applications have anonymity by the screeners? Will all screeners have eyes on each application?
So evaluation panel members will have access to the registration and application forms. Each application will be reviewed by 5 of our evaluation panel members. The information submitted on these forms will not be anonymous to the judges, so please do not include any sensitive information.
Next question. Does Prebys Sparx have a preference for solutions that will be implemented throughout San Diego County or solutions that target specific regions within San Diego County?
So there is no particular preference for this. Please just be sure to review the scoring rubric to learn more about the 4 traits, which includes impactful, and the judges will be using this to evaluate their assigned submissions.
Will applicants receive feedback on their submissions after the competition is completed?
Yes, so applicants will receive scores and feedback after the competition is complete.
Can UCSD submit 2 proposals, but by different schools' departments?
Yes, so different entities within the university may each submit as a lead organization. Again, we just ask that each proposal is for separate and distinct solutions. You may also include the name of the department in the lead org field on the registration form.
Okay, we have a few more questions coming in. One moment.
Susanna, there's a question here that I can respond to. If you've received funding from the foundation before, are you eligible? And yes, just to reiterate, you are eligible to apply for this program, and we encourage you to.
As we prepare to respond to more of your questions, please do be sure to add them to the Q&A tab. I do see a few questions around partnerships. So if you are a lead on a submission, you are allowed to be a partner on another. Again, we just ask that each of those submissions are for separate and distinct proposals and projects. So see some questions around eligibility. Please do refer to the rules to see the types of organizations and activities that are eligible. And also for types of solutions. Again, we're not able to provide guidance that's very specific to your proposed solution. We very much encourage you to review the readiness quiz, review the scoring rubric, to get a sense of how we've defined a strong solution for Prebys Sparx. You do have questions that are very specific to your structure, organization, or solution, please go ahead and email us those questions at prebyssparx.org.
Okay, we have a question here. Can we use funds to hire an accountant grant administrator to manage specific projects so that all of the financial work isn't on one organization if applying as a group?
Yes, so this is an allowable expense. Please be sure to list budget items in that budget section of your application. And again, section 5 of the rules will detail any prohibited use of award funds.
We have another question here. If applying with any other organizations, do we need to submit one application listed by a primary organization only?
Again, please submit one application. Lead organizations can list their partner organizations on that application form.
If our solution has aspects in multiple project stages, which should we select?
Please select the option that best describes your project stage overall.
If you apply as a prime applicant on one submission, can you be a partner non-prime applicant on another submission?
Yes, so a participant can serve as a partner on a team for multiple submissions, as long as each of those submissions proposes a separate and distinct solution. And again, this means that each project can only be submitted once, and we leave it up to each team to designate their eligible lead organization. Yes, so colleges are eligible as long as the college is either a 501c3 organization or a fiscally sponsored nonprofit organization. And colleges and universities are also eligible to serve as partners on an application.
Will projects that receive a $25,000 award still be expected to deliver on the outcomes proposed for a $1 million budget? Should applicants include in their application what is possible at each level of support?
I'll take that one. As we spoke to earlier, reporting is not required for honorable mentions. Therefore, it's not expected to deliver on the same outcomes. But it is assumed that considering the nature of this initiative centering health and well-being of a particular population, our youth in San Diego, it's assumed that there will be inherently some shared outcomes there. But you are not expected to quote unquote deliver on those same outcomes as a $1 million budget. What's that second part? Should applicants include their? Yeah, I think I answered that. Yeah.
Next question, does the funding need to be spent in 1 year?
So the grantee will return to the foundation any unexpended funds at the close of the project period, which is 12 months.
Next question, how detailed do we need to be with our answers?
Questions. So yes, evaluation panel members will be using the information provided on the application to provide their scores and feedback. So we do recommend you share as much information as the form allows. Quite a few questions around specific activities and asking if they are eligible. Again, please review the rules and the scoring criteria in the application. Final budgets and timelines will be agreed upon with the Prebys Foundation for the winner. So there will be opportunity to update and revise as you may need. But please do follow the rules and requirements listed on the website to help determine how best to detail your budget on the application form.
Next question, what does the process look like for the runner-ups? Are they supposed to implement part of their proposed solution with the $25,000, or is the $25,000 a general award?
Yes, so the $25,000 can be used at the discretion of the honorable mentions organization, and no reporting will be required for that $25,000 award.
If we are a 501c3 and don't have additional partners, can we submit the proposal alone without other organizations?
Yes, you may. So partnerships are not required so long as the organization is a 501c nonprofit organization or a fiscally sponsored nonprofit organization. And the organization is based in San Diego County.
I did want to note, we do have some questions that are very specific, and I just want to emphasize that Prebys Sparx is the spirit of it is to encourage innovative and bold ideas that address mental and behavioral health disparities. So there are going to be a lot of specific questions that might be best answered through our FAQ and the scoring rubric. We'll do our best to get to these. Just wanted to provide, again, that piece of information, which is really at the core of Prebys Sparx.
Next question. Can we propose a clinical treatment approach that incorporates arts and culture as a key component of this intervention?
Yeah, so I'll take this question. To reiterate, my colleague, this challenge, really aims to promote mental and behavioral well-being through non-clinical interventions and experiences. And there's a reason behind that is that, arts and culture and nature are oftentimes more accessible than traditional means of healthcare. And so beyond that of this specific program, one of the outcomes that we aspire is that these bold ideas then are expanded and are more accessible across the San Diego County. And so if it were a clinical approach, which would imply that it was, housed in a clinical institution. So we want to make things more accessible and more expansive in that nature. So promoting mental and behavioral well-being through non-clinical interventions.
Next question. How much can we budget as indirect costs?
Yes, I'll take this one. So in addition to direct project costs, the budget may include a reasonable allocation for indirect expenses that are associated with the overall operations of the organizations that are shared across the organization's activities. So we reserve the right to review and adjust the amounts allocated for indirect expenses.
Next question. Will the grand prize winner have the funds dispersed in one payment, or will it be dispersed over a period of time?
Funds will be paid to the grantee upon receipt of the properly completed grant agreement.
If awarded, will the Prebys team work with us to adjust the project implementation timeframe?
Yes, the grant period and the timeline will be defined between the awardee and the Prebys Foundation once the awardee is selected.
Next question. Is this a one-time or ongoing competition?
So this is, as a foundation, this is our first philanthropy challenge. And so as a new and learning organization, we'll adapt accordingly based on what we learned from this experience. If we do garner some innovative and expansive ideas and we find it was of use, then we will continue. And if not, we will adjust.
See some questions around maybe specific groups of youth, or if solutions should reach all youth within the age range of 0 to 25. You'll see the full text of the application is available on the website on that application page, and you'll have opportunity to select specific populations, age ranges, and so forth there. So please choose the beneficiaries that work best with your solution.
Next question. I'm still unclear on if the grant term has to be a 12-month period or if we can set a 24-month or 36-month period.
So the $1 million award will be for a 12-month project period, but there is opportunity to discuss program activities after this 1-year period on the application form, such as under reach and scalability. A question about the video presentation on the application form, so I can take that one. The video is really just an opportunity for applicants to introduce and describe the proposed solution in a way that is different than the written proposal format. So it really does not need to be a professionally produced video. It just asks that you follow the requirements that are listed there. Also see most of the other technical related questions, like if the application will save automatically. It does. So as you work on your application, it does save. Please do let us know if you have any other questions or need for technical support. And if we don't get to your question today, please do email us. If there are questions around, again, eligible activities, please do take that readiness quiz and that will help determine if you are a fit and eligible for Prebys Sparx.
I have a question here. Are you looking for programs that serve specified underrepresented youth demographics, or do you prefer to see programs that will serve all youth in San Diego as a whole?
So there is no requirement. Please do review the scoring rubric to review the criteria that the evaluation panel judges will use to review the applications. And then note that 2 of these 4 traits are equitable and impactful. So we encourage you to read more about elements that are included in these traits as you complete your proposal. I have time for one more question. Otherwise, Susanna, you can take us away.
Yeah, I can touch on one more question here. It's more technical. What does Prebys recommend applicants focus on for the video and PDF section of the application? So the video should showcase your solution and pitch your story in a succinct format. This is an opportunity to share your vision and approach in a way that's different from the written proposal format. And within the video, you can include things like screenshots, walkthroughs, or other visuals if you wish. And then for the PDF section of the application, that project visual, this PDF may include things like flowcharts, organizational charts, maps of proposed project areas, diagrams, etc. So again, please review the application to learn more about these elements.
We actually have just one more that we can get to. What if you're a new organization?
I can take that one. So if you meet other criteria and your proposed solution is feasible, you're eligible. So feasibility is again further delineated on the scoring rubric on the website. If you see what that means, meaning that your approach, you have sufficient plans and resources and budget and community buy-in to execute the solution. And then also, speaking to the team's experience, capacity, skills, relationships needed to mitigate risk and ensure sustained outcomes over time. So.
Great, thank you, Novi. And it looks like we are out of time today. Well, thank you again for joining. And if you have more questions, please email us at questions@prebyssparx.org. If we didn't answer your question today, we will email you with a response. If you haven't done so already, please register no later than 3 p.m. Pacific time on Thursday, November 7th, 2024, in order to be eligible to submit an application. A recording of this webinar will be made available to registrants by email on the news and updates page of the challenge website and posted to the forums page on the platform. The FAQs may be updated over the next week or so to include some questions from today's webinar. And as a reminder, please continue to follow our FAQs as we provide any helpful information leading up to the December 4th, 2024 application deadline. We encourage you to submit your application as soon as possible, as this deadline is firm. And then please also save the date for our second Q&A webinar on Wednesday, November 20th at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. This will be a great opportunity to ask more questions as you dive deeper into the application. And thanks again so much for joining us, and we look forward to your participation in Prebys Sparx. I'll now hand things over to Edgar Ontiveros Medina with Prebys for closing remarks.
Thank you all so much. So on behalf of the Prebys Foundation and CARE, we want to thank you all for attending today's webinar and for your interest in Prebys Sparx. We know that arts, culture, and nature play a critical role in youth mental health, and we appreciate the work that you all do for the community. We look forward to reviewing all applications, and we'll stay in touch with any further questions that come up during the application period. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Everyone, thank you.